Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Were Meant for More. I am your host, Francine Ayala. I am your empowerment coach and speaker. I am here to bring light into this darkness that has been hovering over all of us. I am just truly grateful you're here, whether you're joining me live or on replay, whether you've been here for months from the beginning or you're just starting. I am truly grateful for your presence. I'm grateful that you're showing up for yourself. I'm excited that there's so much in store for you. Just stick around because I want to share how you're going to go from darkness to lightness and sharing light in the world that feels so dark. Lately, it's just been a lot, very heavy. And a lot of people are struggling with this back and forth of their emotions and their feelings. And I want to be a source of light for you, a source of light for you to spread on over the world, for you to comfort others in their time of darkness. And so to share a little bit about me, if you don't know already, I started a nonprofit back in 2017 out of depression. I've built multiple businesses. I've started a nonprofit. I've failed multiple times at my business, but still I got back up. I didn't give up because I knew there was something more for me. I knew God had a plan. Although I didn't listen, He did have a plan for me in my life. I just had to pay attention. I just had to be willing and receiving to accept the guidance that He had for me. And believe me when I tell you, I fought Him on multiple levels in my life. And I want to be able to share that perspective with you because it really helps you shine in your own space, in your own light, and for you to be a blessing for others to experience. So you guys, let me get my notes because we are going to jump into it. Right now, I'd be playing music and doing all the things, but honestly, I forgot. And that's okay. I had so much going on. You guys, if you haven't registered for the conference, let me just say it now. VIP tickets. Let me go this way. Yeah. The little QR code. VIP tickets are going to, the discount code is not going to be available after midnight tonight. So today we are September 24th, 2025. And it is your last chance to get VIP tickets with $100 off. It goes back up to $297 tomorrow. So do not miss out on that. And I just wanted to say thank you. Oh, hey, Rico. Hey, Rico is here. I love it. Thank you so much, Rico, for showing up. I appreciate you. So, of course, I got to give, people my love for that support the show. So I appreciate Rico showing up and being here. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I had to say that, you guys. I'll share more about the conference once we're done, but stay with me because we're going to dive into my notes because I have tons to share with you. And I want to be able to, like I said, be a source, be a light so that it's not weighing so heavy on you so that then you can turn around and be a light and blessing for others. All right, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. So let me bring up my notes. Pardon me. I was actually reviewing them. And so that's why I'm like, oh, I need to go all the way back up to the top. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we are sharing light in a world of darkness. And I'm sure you felt it over the last couple weeks. It's been a little heavy, right? So let me tell you though, if you've been feeling like you're surrounded by shadows, whether that's self-doubt, fear, overwhelming challenges, or just the weight of the world pressing down on you, this conversation is exactly what your soul needs to hear. And I'm here for it. Like, I love to be able to support you where you're at, no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to get real, vulnerable, obviously, with my own story today because I believe that our stories have the power to heal. And they do. Not just ourselves, but everyone who has come into contact with them. And if you're listening right now, it's not by accident. You're here because you're ready to step into your light. And I'm here to share it with you. And it's funny because as I was reviewing my notes, more things started to come to me. And I know, like, as I surrendered and God started to move in me, He gives me downloads like automatically. And I'm like, whoa, before I used to have to wait like a week or two to get something, after I've talked to him or prayed about it. And now it's like I get them right away. And so on this particular one where it says, you're not here by accident, there's a time and a place where we get to be because there's something shifting in our life. And this one came up the other day for me, and I want to share it with you guys because, I'm honest and transparent, and I'm all about making sure that you are all aware of, even in your own life, things are going to come up, right? So the other day I woke up a little uneasy because, if you don't know, I'm planning a conference that's happening in 3 days, sorry. And I got a little overwhelmed. And just like that, God reminded me as I woke up at like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. And he's like, you're not going to be around the same people anymore. So why do you continue to reach out to those people? And it was just like, well, those are the people that have been part of my event. Those are the people who have grown with me. And it's like, he had to remind me that as he's moving in me and as things are changing in my life, the same people are not going to be showing up as I've expected. And so I was like, okay, that sat with me. And I was like, okay, I am going to embrace that. So here we go. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. And all right, let's see. Okay, all right, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I grabbed all of your notes. All right, so let's continue on. Be okay with where you're at and where you're headed, because there's so much more coming for you. Okay. All right. Stick with me. Okay. So, people basically, they look at me now and they see the confidence, they see the speaking, they see the coaching, and then of course the TV show. But what they always see is what they don't really see is the journey that I actually had to go through and to break through that brought me here, that brought me to this moment. Because you guys know, if you don't know, I was 17 when I became a single mother. Yeah, 17. Can you imagine? I felt like my life was over before it began. And believe me, my family told me something similar. I won't blame all of them, but I got told, like, what are you going to do? Like, your life has just completely ended as far as like what they anticipated for my life. Okay. Now, granted, my son is the best blessing I could ever receive, but it's scary at 17. The shame, the fear, the overwhelming responsibility, it actually felt like I was drowning in darkness. Everyone around me had their opinions about who I should be, how I should show up, and how messed up my life was because I couldn't go after that college degree, or I couldn't work that job, or I couldn't do certain things. So it literally kept me stuck of other people's opinions. And we've talked about that in the past. But here's what I learned in that darkness. And this is going to be like your first light today that I'm going to share with you. Sometimes our biggest mistakes become our greatest lessons. That experience taught me resilience I never knew that I had. It taught me that I could handle way more than I ever imagined. I mean, when people talk about single parents or single moms, they're just like, that's like a super mom. I didn't think any different. I just thought I was just doing a job and not a job, but like I showed up as a mom, as the best mom I could be. And that was just the way it was. But when people talk about what I did and what I've gone through and how I overcame certain things as a single mom, I was like, okay, give myself a pat on the shoulder. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good. And then, of course, through life, I got complimented from like my son's behavior. You have a great son. You've done such a great job with him and things like that. And so be proud of how far you've come. That's one of the biggest things we do as humans, is that we don't give ourselves enough credit. We just look at all the bad. But then again, our brain always reverts to negativity first. And if we know that, we then know how to change the outcome. And I've talked about that before. Okay. So fast forward through corporate success, through building businesses, through what looked like having it all together. And guess what? The darkness came back in 2017. I actually found myself in deep depression. Here I was helping other women, running Wheela, appearing like I had it all together when I didn't have it figured out. Some days I couldn't get out of bed. Depression set in really strong. And then again in 2022, another wave of depression hit when they diagnosed me ADHD. And you know what I realized is darkness isn't a one-time visitor. It's part of the human experience. But here's the game changer. We get to choose what we do with it. So I'm going to give you key point number 1. Let's talk about your first light in the darkness. Your pain is not your prison. It's your power source. I want you to think about a time when you went through something really difficult. Maybe it was a breakup, a job loss, a health scare, financial struggles, and just feeling completely lost about your purpose. You guys, as I wrote that, I was just like, yeah, I went through all of them. I was like a breakup, a job loss, a health scare, financial struggles, or just completely lost about your purpose. So many women out there are like, what is my purpose? Stay focused on where you're meant to be, and he will show you. In that moment, it felt like the end of the world. Like I was stumbling out of control. And I remember yelling to God, what is it that you want from me? And it's so funny because he keeps telling me and I keep running. I'll tell you guys, he will keep telling you. And then once you finally give up and say, okay, fine, I surrender. Here you go. Here's my life. Take the wheel. I'm not in control anymore. You'll start to see blessings. You'll start to see the right people in front of you. And that's what's been happening to me. The conference could have put me in a spiral. And if you guys don't know already, I'm launching an ebook that is going to share a little bit more about my struggle of depression in 2017 and what took place. And that'll be launching after the conference. But I literally spiraled out of control. And I just like screamed to him for help. And I was done. I didn't want to focus on anything anymore. I was just done. I felt like a failure. And you'll know why as the ebook comes out. But again, it was one of the hardest things I'd ever had to go through. But look at me now. I survived it. And you survived it. Whatever it is you went through, you survived it. You're here listening to the show, which means you're still growing. It means you're still seeking, you're still becoming. That darkness you went through, it didn't destroy you, it developed you. Every woman I coach, and man, who comes to my conferences, every woman who watches this show, they all have one thing in common. They've been through something. And that something is exactly what qualifies them to help someone else. So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to think about your biggest struggle, past or present. Now I want you to ask yourself, how has this experience made me stronger? What have I learned that I could teach to someone else? Because here's the truth. Your mess becomes your message. Your test becomes your testimony. And your pain, it becomes your purpose. Second key point. Your second light in the darkness is you don't have to wait until you're healed up. Or healed to help others. This one really sits with me in two different perspectives. Because you're going to hear it on social media, you're going to hear it, different areas. And even me as a coach, I will share this too. You start where you're at because people are where you're at. So when I coach someone who's not where I'm at, there's still a lot of coaching they need to go through. And I don't want to put it this way, but I have to kind of reference it in a way that is understandable. they're starting from like, I don't want to say the bottom. They're just starting like from scratch. And so no matter what, you can only help someone as far as you've gone through your own healing process. Does that make sense? Are you understanding that? Because the thing is, so many people quit before they even start. Well, I can't help them because I'm not healed. I can't help them because I haven't gone through the certifications, the everything that I need to do. Now, granted, I know a lot of people do that. I was one of them. I was constantly doing the whole, I got it, perfectionism. Perfectionism will keep you stuck for the longest time. Remember, you can help someone as far as you've gone through that process. If you're trying to help somebody get to their next level and you haven't been to that next level, you're going to have a very difficult time getting them there. So I work with coaches that are in different areas, different types of, like one of my good friends, she does EMDR, and that helps regulate the nervous system. I don't do EMDR. So I get to then say, hey, maybe this is something to my clients. Maybe it's something that you want to look into. If that's something that interests you, I can refer them. So understand that you don't have to be healed to help someone completely. You just know that you have a certain limit that you go to say, hey, okay, I've taken you as far as I could. Let me get you to the next coach, mentor, whoever that can support you going forward. And if you're joining me live, let me know how you're feeling about that. Give me some feedback. Is that making sense to you? As I pull up my notes again. Okay, so I used to think I had to figure it all out before I can help anyone. I thought I needed this perfect polished version of myself before I could share my story. But you know what? People don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. And the minute I realized that, I just kept showing up and sharing the mess and sharing the craziness. They opened up so much more. Everyone did. All of my clients, all of my followers, people that have been following me, they're just like, oh my goodness, I see your story and you're so phenomenal. You just share it. You're so real. You're authentic. You're transparent. I love it. And I'm just like, I don't know how to be anything else. It just comes. So I'm grateful. They connect with someone who says, hey, I've been where you are and I'm still figuring it out too. But let me share what's working for me. Okay. So that is words that you can use that can support others where you're at. I may not have it figured out, but I can share what's working for me. That allows you to have that open opportunity to share with someone. And, if you're a coach, speaker, author, to support someone where you're at so that you can then guide them to their next level. Some of my most powerful coaching sessions have happened when I was in my own season of struggle, pretty much. Because I wasn't speaking from a place of, I used to struggle. I was speaking from a place of, I understand exactly what you're going through right now. And it's true. I remember when I used to do rideshare, I did it for 6 years. I was building my business, but I was also just trying to survive. Some days I felt like such a fraud. Here I was telling women they could build their dreams and I'm driving strangers around to pay my bills, right? And that's okay. And now I can speak about it and just be completely okay with it, because the thing is, I didn't have to go to a job. I didn't have to go to a job that kept me there, told me the hours I needed to work. I had my own flexibility, my own space. So never be ashamed of what you do. Do it with love, no matter what. So here's what happened. Some of my most meaningful conversations happened in the car. Women would get in, we'd start talking, and by the end of the ride, they were crying, sharing their dreams, asking for my business card. My failure became my ministry, ultimately. And those car rides, I almost felt like the Uber, what is it? They had those Uber confessions or something like that. They had like those confessions in the car ride, or taxi car confessions. I had women just pouring their troubles out to me. And I just remember praying and telling God, like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're telling me. And I was meant to be there for them. So never underestimate what God has in store for you and how he's going to utilize your purpose in others' lives. But that's when I realized you don't need a perfect platform to share your light. You just need to be willing to shine where you are. And you guys, I did that in Taxi Cab Confessions. Just kidding, by the way. I was never part of that, but it just feels like that, right? All right, third key point. Your third light is the darkness. Your third light in the darkness is small lights create big changes. You don't have to save the whole world. You don't have to have a TV show or a coaching business or speak on stages. You just have to be willing to share your light with the people right in front of you. Maybe it's encouraging a coworker who's having a rough day. Maybe it's sharing your story with a friend who's going through something similar. Sorry. Maybe it's just posting something real and vulnerable on social media instead of another perfect highlight reel. Oh, you guys, after the conference, we are going to be so vulnerable. It's going to be awesome because all things God is moving and he's going to be sharing everything. He's going to be sharing the mess. He's going to be sharing the message. He's going to be sharing everything. And I promise you, it's going to be lots of love and lots of light showing up. Okay, so stick with me. All right, so let me give you some practical ways to share your light even when you're still finding your way. First, and I'm sure you guys know this, start with gratitude. Oh my goodness. What I've noticed is the minute I started doing my gratitude, so I do my prayer in the morning when I wake up. Thank God for another day. Thank him for the lessons learned. I thank him for the people he's placed in front of me. I thank him for what's next in my life, like where he's guiding me. And I basically have a conversation with him and I tell him I'm here for it. Guide me, steer me wherever you want me, plant me, just utilize me. I'm here for your mission. Literally what I tell God. And then I thank him. Thank you so much for the people in my lives. Thank you for the love in my life. Thank you for the roof over my head. Thank you for the food in my mouth. You know, every time I eat at a table with my family or out to eat, we pray over our food. You know, thank you to the people who made it. Thank you, to everything that it has just been so supportive of me becoming the person I am today. I'm just grateful. And I promise you, the moment you start to live in gratitude, things are going to move and shift in your life tremendously. If you can take anything away from this message, I really want you all to understand gratitude to the fullest. Because that's literally what's been happening. As soon as I jumped into gratitude, I was just like, here we go. It brings so much love, so much light. So wake up with a beautiful heart of gratitude in you and speak to God and tell him, thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the warmth, the hugs, the kisses, my peace, my happiness, my joy, whatever brings you joy. Just thank him for it. And if it's not there in your life at the moment and that's what you want, thank him for when it's coming. Thank you, God. Thank you for my blessings that are coming, the love, the peace, the joy that's going to be filling my life. I am grateful for what I have right now, and I'm open to receiving what's coming next. Guys, game changer, I promise you. Okay. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for, even in the darkness. Gratitude is like a flashlight. It doesn't illuminate the darkness, but it helps you see what's right in front of you. Second, share your story, even if it's not finished. You don't need a perfect ending to help someone who's still in the middle of their story. Third, ask better questions. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Or how can I use this experience to help someone else? Fourth, create small moments of light for others. Send an encouraging text, leave a positive comment, hold the door, smile at a stranger, Light spreads through the smallest actions. You guys, you know that I do that all the time. Do you know that I say thank you to everyone I come into contact with? I smile. Energy is contagious. And guess what? It provides a lot of value to wherever it is you're at. So, for example, it was funny. My son just came home from traveling. Okay. He was in New York and Chicago. And he shared on three separate occasions how he spoke to someone and how he was able to receive better seats for a Broadway show. He was able to get lunch at a sold out restaurant in Chicago that is booked months in advance. And he was able to slide in with no reservations. And the third one, he was able to, I'm trying to remember the third one. He was able to take a tour of, they have like the mob tour in Chicago. And they had, I guess, this one restaurant that was like open for during Prohibition. And they weren't doing tours or anything like that. But for some reason, with his communication and his kindness and the way he was talking to people, he's like, yeah, it would have been nice to see it. Well, let's see if we can take you down there. So everything just comes from your energy and how you present yourself and how you show up in front of people. So energy is contagious. When you're constantly coming from a place of love, a place of gratitude, a place of just joy, everybody wants to be around that. Everybody feels that energy and they just want the same. So be the light. That's why it's so important to be the light. My mission is to share God's word and love for all to see. And so I have to show up as the way God would show up, in love and light for others, so that they can then find that for themselves. All right, I want to close it up for you guys. Okay, we're hitting the we're coming to the end, but I want to make sure I send it all. Okay. Now I know some of you are thinking, but Francine, what if I don't feel qualified? What if I'm still struggling? What if people judge me? I use that one all the time. Let me tell you something. The people who judge you for being real are not your people. Your people are the ones who need to hear that. They're not alone in their struggle. Okay. And as far as not feeling qualified, your qualification isn't your perfection. It's your willingness to be vulnerable and your desire to help. And that's it. Fourth key. Your light grows stronger when you share it. This is the beautiful paradox of light. The more you give it away, the brighter it becomes. So literally what I just shared with you guys, the more you give it away to people, the brighter it becomes. Because when you switch your energy to this lightness and love and peace, it starts to get brighter. It starts to attract people that you're like, wow, I never knew this was like available to me. All of these different circumstances, situations start to present themselves. And you're just like, okay, I love it. I'm here for it. That's why everything that I do is like, okay, today I've had 3 or 4 connections of me being a speaker at another event. And they're reaching out to me and I just, okay, God, whatever it is you want me to do, I'm here for it. Every time you encourage someone else, you encourage yourself. Every time you help someone see their worth, you remember your own. I've seen this over and over in my coaching practice, in Wheela, and every community I've built. The women who are the most generous with their encouragement, their wisdom, their support, they're the ones who shine the brightest. Yesterday I saw a post and it was so sweet. Somebody posted and it was a picture of me. And somebody goes, is that Francine? Are you going to the conference? And I thought that was sweet. I was like, oh, they know me. And then right away, are you going to the conference? And yeah, actually the woman is going to be at the conference. She's going to be one of our speakers. So I'm grateful for every interaction, every person that shows up and says, I know you. You guys, I get that all the time. And I'm grateful for it. I'm just like, really? the way I respond is, really, how do you know me? I go, I know I have like a lot of, people that I connect with, because women love to connect with other women who are shining, who are glowing, who are showing up with this love and this purpose. And so then they tell me, I'm like, great, it's so nice to meet you. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, I'm grateful for every single connection I have. And how can I, at one point, been a light in their life, and we're always evolving. But as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm thinking about all the women who have been lights in my darkness, my mentors, my friends, even strangers who said exactly what I needed to hear, exactly at the right moment. I am that person that's always receiving, no matter what. If they want to share something, then I'm okay. If they're coming from a place of hurt, then I listen. So just be that space for someone to lean on, when they need it, right? Or when you're available. Because we can also get into like boundaries, but that's another topic. So, and I'm thinking about you listening right now. Maybe you're in your car, maybe you're at home, maybe you're taking a walk. But wherever you're at, I want you to know that your light matters. Your story matters. Your voice matters. The world needs what you have to offer, even if you can't see it yet. Okay? So here's my challenge for you guys this week. You guys know I always have a challenge. I want you to be intentionally light in someone else's darkness. It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. Just one person, one moment, one opportunity to share your light. And then I want you to pay attention to what happens. Notice how it feels. Notice how they respond. Notice how your own light gets a little brighter. I love, one of my favorite things to do is complimenting people. Mostly women, because like women are receiving. Sorry, men who are watching my show, I can't compliment men as much because they actually think I'm hitting on them. But that's okay. I mean, like, that's okay for me, not for them. Because I do like to compliment men, whether they smell good, whether they look good. I do. I don't do it as often, but, if someone shows up and it's like, oh, you smell nice, things like that, But like I said, I try to keep it to just women. All right, Rico, the imposter syndrome is a courage killer. Oh, imposter syndrome. I can tell you all about imposter syndrome. Seriously. Rico, stay with it. Stay with me. I promise you. Continue to show up for these, because imposter syndrome will take you down hard, because it's right here sitting with your itty bitty shitty committee. And I want to make sure it doesn't take control of your thoughts and your life, because we can get stuck in our head for the longest. Believe me, that's not bringing you value. It's just keeping you stuck. So whenever your brain reverts to that, just like, nope, not going to hear that. Not going to listen. I'm going to sit in peace, gratitude, light, and I'm going to go love on people. Because Rico, I know you. You're a good person. You have a huge heart. So be that person. It's there, but somewhere in your past has told you it's not. And so don't let that voice continue, because that's not where it needs to be. So stay encouraged. All right, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. You were not meant to hide your light under a bridge. You were not meant to dim your shine to make others comfortable. You were not meant to wait until you're perfect to make a difference. You were meant to be a light bringer, a hope dealer, a darkness breaker, right here, right now, exactly as you are. The world is waiting for the light, the beautiful light within you. Don't make it wait any longer. So I want to say thank you so much for spending these 33 minutes with me today. If this episode touched your heart, please share it with another woman or man who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode of You Are Meant for More. You guys, there's notifications. So every time a new show goes out, make sure you click on that bell so that it can give you a notification when I'm live. If you're ready to dive deeper into discovering and sharing your light, I would love to connect with you. Head on over to francineayala.com/meant for more. And I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen right there. Head on over, book us a breakthrough session with me. Let's talk about how you can step fully into the light you were meant to be. All right, you guys, any questions, comments? Let's leave them now. But until next time, keep shining bright. Beautiful souls, the world needs your light. And remember, in Matthew 5:14, it says, you are the light of the world. You were not put under a desk to not shine. You shine out to be the beacon for the world to see. So definitely go out there and make waves, okay? And lastly, you guys, our conference is this weekend. Nope, this way. You guys, I'm backwards. The QR code is right there. So go ahead and scan that QR code. Today is the last day for those VIP tickets, or get a general admission wherever. Join us. VIP access code. It is for men too, you guys. Don't feel like it's just women, because men, I have men speakers coming out. Tony is going to be amazing. Navarez, he is fabulous. I love this guy. He is my tax accountant and mentor. And then I have Ramel Taylor, who's coming out. He is a food and nutrition expert, and he played pro ball. So I want you to come out, again, men and women. I have a spiritual panel coming of women. We're going to do a big prayer circle, DJ, vendors, you guys name it. I love to have fun at events. If you don't know this already about me, you can definitely check out my last events, but be sure to register. Like I said, don't miss out. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next show of You Are Meant for More. Take care and blessings to you all. And I will be back next week. Have a good one. Bye.
I want to get to know what you do, what inspires you, what you enjoy.
My ability to lead really impacts women on a larger level, because not every woman has the same story or the same journey. So understanding where they've come from and where they want to go helps me be the leader that I can, so that I can show up in a space of authenticity for them.